everybody, welcome to qualifying. The session is about to get underway in about 2 minutes time. We've moved up to the main commentary box for this session, the only one we can actually do in the main commentary box this weekend as well, apart from when we later commentate on the Moto E's, the Moto 2 and the Moto 3 races, of course, when they're coming to you on Tuesday. But let's cross over quickly to our commentators and hear from them.
But when he's been on, you know, he's looked in good form, hasn't he?
Yeah, from the start of the season was looking so good, and then he got injured in Portimao with the being taken down by Marquez. Marquez making this mistake. He got injured again in Jerez with Fabio Quartararo collecting him in a race incident, and every time it looked good, something happened that prevented him from performing. So he's looked really good, and on this track he could well be the surprise this weekend.
Luca Marini, we know, has got a good record of, if he is in Q1, getting into the Q2. We've also got Jack Miller. What have you made of what you've seen of him this weekend?
Yeah, Jack, I think he's trying to resettle, from the bad weekend he's had in Austria. In Austria, for me, looking at the images, it just looked like he was overriding the bike, and he was just trying a little bit too hard. And this is a track where you don't want to try hard because it's long corners with a lot of lean. You need to prepare your corners. You need to be ever so patient when you get on the throttle, not to create that speed, not to create too much temperature into the rear tire. The rider said yesterday, even with the new tire, you need to manage, you need to manage that throttle opening. You need to be able to control the temperature in the rear tire. That temperature can creep up very, very quickly in just a few corners. Turn 3, turn 4, very long corners, a lot of spin. You create that high temperature and you lose grip. So rider needs to put everything together and not override the bike. So hopefully Jack understood what happened in Austria and he can put it right together.
Certainly looks pumped up for this session. The clock is ticking down. Gav, lots of star names in this Q1.
Yeah, there really is, as Q1 gets underway here for the Grand Prix. As you can see as well, everything getting set out there. 14 minutes then ahead of us for the Catalan Grand Prix. Pol Espargaro ahead of Jack Miller, Ralph Hernandez, Miguel Oliveira, Luca Marini, Augusto Fernandez. Then we get Fabio Quartararo, Franco Morbidelli, Marc Marquez, Takiki Nakagami, Aki Lukino and Johan Mir. And the important thing is, if you were with us at the end of free practice 2, the rain in the ears. There's Avio Bautista as well from World Superbikes watching on the Prima Proma team. The important thing to remember is, if that rain is coming down, the best of the conditions are going to be right now. So, track temperature 28 degrees, air temperature 25. Humidity is at 74%, 10 km/h wind speed, so it's blowing it around everywhere at the moment. Tyre compounds, everyone's gone out medium front, soft rear. That's the best to consider in these conditions at the moment as they hurtle down towards turn 1 with Luca Marini. As soon as we get the boards up for the times, we'll switch over to that screen and you can see everything crystal clear. But Luca Marini getting in there as well. First sector times looking stronger. 17.3. Marc Marquez having to go through this session, so is Johan Mir. Both of them seeming a little bit off on it. They've got a tow though ahead. It's raining at turn 1 and the one slick tyres. But it's bright sunshine. That's what you get here in Barcelona. We've come here later in the year, of course. Usually we're here in late mid-August, maybe June. We're usually here. But because Formula 1 moved to June, for its date here at the circuit, we've moved this race to September. It replaces Aragon as the round of the European Championship. It's a fantastic circuit, the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. Surprisingly hilly, it doesn't look it, but there's an uphill turn 3 and it's quite a trek, as well as turns 4, 5, 6, 7 as well. So it looks like Miller might have backed out his lap time. Luca Marini doing much the same. They're all just keeping out there. Marc Marquez following in, 52.164 in the middle sector. As you can take a look now on the screens in terms of delta times, not everybody improving as massively as you might have thought for the Catalan Grand Prix. They are the sector times with Marini, Quartararo, Morbidelli, Ralph Hernandez, Aiki Lukanoa. And it's a red sector time, so it's a 1:42.896. That's what's coming on the board at the moment then. You can see them alongside us here on the deck. So fingers crossed we should see a smooth race, a 1:48.48 as I said, coming through. Let's check in then with the commentators. Oh, actually we can't do that at the moment. So Luke and Noah looking faster at the moment as well. I'm hoping it's going to be a nice smooth run. Oliveira goes to the top. Miguel Oliveira. Wow, it's a 1. Oh, now Quartararo goes through. So the times are changing. 1:44.06. And that's all within 10 seconds. 3 different top setters inside 10 seconds. Quartararo, though, I think he's caught everybody by surprise. We didn't expect to see him at the top. 1:39.840. 878. So fingers crossed then as it comes through. So Quartararo's up in the first sector time as well. We'll take a look at that now. 16.797. Look at Oliveira, 16.795. Lucanoa, a 17.048. So deltas are working. They're remaining positive. It's what we like to see. Miller's 0.08 of a second off at the moment. Marc Marquez 0.039 down. Oliveira's 0.2 up in sector 2. 48.3. Luca Marini goes into 3rd place. That's his lap time sorted across the board. As they're into the last sectors now to set in their deltas. So, where do they go on run number 2 in this first part of qualifying for the Catalan Grand Prix? As you can see, rain flags are being waved. This could be cause havoc for riders. That's as well from Gavin Jones. Marquez has jumped to the top, so Marquez has found some time. Miller 3rd at the moment, 1:39.684. Paul Espargaro 4th, and Augusto Fernandez jumps up into 4th place now. Miguel Oliveira right to the top, as we've got a lap time cancel for Raul Fernandez. Oliveira 1:39.510 on the board. He takes top. Quartararo goes second, 1:39.684. Morbidelli goes second. Wowee! The rider who's been fired from the main Yamaha team next season has just outpinned. Oh, Quartararo's crashed down! I was just going to say it! Or is it Morbidelli? No, it is Quartararo. I was right first time with the red boots. He's got a slightly different livery this weekend on his overalls as Quartararo. But Fabio Quartararo has crashed down. Now he's got the bike back up. He should be able to get it back. It's down at turn 1. Unbelievable. So not only is he not into qualifying 2, his teammate is. His teammate that has been so underperforming. And it was a stupid accident as well. He ran wide, coming out of turn 2 on the uphill to turn 3, got in the gravel, tried to kick his way out of it, and it just went down. I cannot believe that from Fabio Quartararo. Hands down, cannot believe it. Anyone else improving? Luca Marini goes into 6th for the 1:39.980. Amazing sector times at the moment. There's Quartararo down turn 1. That's what we just seen. So it was at turn 1. Unbelievable. Yellow flags rescinded, so everybody else can now get a clean run. But I think they're coming into the pit lane. I can't confirm that to you at the moment because the timing screens won't let me half the time see the deltas, but I believe, yeah, they're all coming into the pit lane at the end of the first run. Let's hand over then to Gavin Emmett and TNT Sports.
Which are the top 2 who are going to go through into the qualifying final? As it stands, it's Oliveira and Morbidelli. I think any of us mentioned Frankie, but I will say there's one thing he's done this year. He's definitely closed the gap to Quartararo.
Yeah, there's a bit of that, and there's a little bit, I think, of Fabio has gone a little bit slower. So I feel like he has made a step, Frankie, but also, and Fabio's maybe done a quarter of a step backward.
Sounding more and more like Frankie will be a Pramac rider and possibly get a factory Ducati next year.
Unreal, isn't it, how sometimes things can go for you.
Having been, what was he? I was told he was going to go Yamaha World Superbike or even Kawasaki World Superbike. You know, all these different names in the mix. Ducati World Superbike. I'm thinking, suddenly, oh no, I'm just going to be on the the factory Ducati and the Pramac team.
Best bike in the paddock. Hey, good things happen to good people. There's one thing we know about Frankie. He's a good lad, isn't he?
He is. Intelligent, thoughtful. It's Fabio Quartararo makes it back into the pits. Quick word with his crew. There's Diego Gubellini, his crew chief.
Yeah, it's that purple that makes me think of Fabio, of Anea.
Yeah. Was it the boots at Avintia?
I'm trying to remember where he had them.
Or Italtrans, yeah. He always has that bright green on, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like the beast, the alien eyes that he always had. Right, so here we go again.
Yeah,
Very, very strange morning session that we're having here, and this is Q1 and just under 6 minutes remaining.
Yeah, you feel with Anea Bastianini, he needs a bit of the beast back. We've lost the beast, haven't we, ever since Portugal, that broken shoulder blade. He's also got some nerve issue, I think, with the shoulders still, I'd read somewhere, so unreal how his season has never got going at all.
Yeah, but in Q2, directly after yesterday, unfortunately, a 3-place grid penalty for Anea Bastianini. And that should be for Sunday's Grand Prix. So that Paul Espargaro had. I wonder if Paul will get one actually for earlier on with Pekka Vanyan. For a second offence, it might be a back of a grid job for Paul. We'll just have to wait and see.
It doesn't look like he deserved one with what I saw.
Yeah.
It was not good.
I had a really good chat with Paul Espargaro. We'll run that later on, I do believe, and just the recovery and everything he's gone through. Didn't know if that was the end of his career. It's incredible what he's been doing anyway, and we would not be surprised to see him in this remaining 5 minutes get into those top 2 spots, because he's gunning for Jack Miller. I've got a feeling like Paul really wants to show that he deserves to be around, and Jack is the person he's got in his sights.
Yeah, it's quite funny what motivates a rider, and Paul's always been a gritty, determined rider, and this injury, I think we all sort of quietly thought that this is probably the end, really. He's going to come back, he's going to have a go, he's not going to want to risk too much, having had such serious injuries, but it's been anything but that. It's been the fiery Paul from old, really. Genuinely, I'm so impressed with what I've seen. His fighting spirit is absolutely outstanding.
And the kind of form we saw.
And fingers crossed, we're going to continue to see that throughout the next part of the section. So they're out there now on the track. Everybody going in, as you can see from our blog post as well on CrashNet. That's come from Gareth Jones, of course, saying we're all set for the final time attack runs. The last 5 minutes of Q1 have arrived. And it is the top 2 spots, Oliveira and Morbidelli, and medium front soft rear tyre. But I think Oliveira's on medium. I think I just saw that. I want to see that out there again soon. But there's a new soft tyre in for the rear of Morbidelli, and Quartararo is going to have new tyres as well due to the bike issues. Miller's up. He's up by 2/10 of a second. So is Marc Marquez in that sector one time. You can see it now on your control deck here. So Oliveira's first sector is a 16.665. Marc Marquez 16.7. Same for Miller, but he's 10 thousandths quicker than Miller. Look at Paul Espargaro, 16.718. They're insanely close, this lot. Nothing really separating them at all. Sector 2 for Oliveira is good, quicker than both Marc and Miller. And Paul Espargaro in there too with Raul Fernandez. They're quite close together by 30 thousandths of a second separating them. Third sector times. It's Miller who's ahead of Marquez. They come in the last 2 corners as well, so we're about to see the deltas. Oliveira looking quick as well. Across the line they come then. What are we going to see? Miller out front from Marc Marquez. Marquez will get the toe across the line. Miller, then Marquez. 2/10 of a second between them, 0.162. So it's Marquez, then Paul Espargaro goes into 3rd position. Mia goes 9th, Augusto Fernandez 7th, Miguel Oliveira though on course for P1. That Crypto Data RNF MotoGP bike, it's an Aprilia chassis. They are loving Catalunya. Aprilia have finally clicked here as they come out the last corner. Is Oliveira going fastest? Yes, he is. It's 2, nearly 3 tenths faster. It's a 1:38.789 for Miguel Oliveira. Raul Fernandez goes into 5th place at 1:39.360. Paul Espargaro is up in that first sector time as well. Quartararo's down by 2/10. He's still not liking this, is he? Got the bike back to the pit lane and he hopped over to bike 2, but he's still not liking this. It's not the track he wants, not the grip he wants. It's fighting him every opportunity that the bike gets. It's not going well. So first sector time for Pol Espargaro, look, is 16.6, but everyone else has backed off in the sectors. Fabio Quartararo manages to go up to 6th position on 139.542, but nobody else improving on this opening run here with 1:18 left on the clock in qualifying number 1. So there's a lot to do. Yeah, everyone's on a cool down lap at the moment, so just lifting it, ready for one more push. I see Mads Hall says go over M93, that's Marc Marquez. Currently, he is going for the first time in a long, long time. He's in a decent position. He's P2 as things stand. And a shortcut, lap time cancelled for Rider 43. So Rider 43 having his lap time cancelled there. As you can see, track temperature 25 degrees, air temperature 29, 76% humidity, no sign of the rain coming in, which is the best thing. We didn't want the rain coming in over this. Nakagami moves up into 11th position. Oliveira, as you can see, look at that, wowing everybody. And Mark's in the pit lane. Mark's in the pit lane. What is he up to? Surely he can't think he's safe enough to get through to Q2. Marc Marquez into the pit lane then, shocking and surprising everybody. The checkered flag is out, the session is over. So let's see what everybody's deltas are going to be in this first part of qualifying, a very crucial part of qualifying as well. We might add to that. Out of the last corner, delta times aren't looking it. Luca Marini, 8th at the moment across the line. Marini, is he quicker or not? No, only goes 7th. Franco Morbidelli goes into 6th place, 139.452. Fabio Quartararo stays 7th, 139.510. Miller in 3rd. Is he going to improve? No, I'll show you. Everyone's slowing now. Nobody doing any good improvements to get in there. Miller's on the verge, but I think Mark has timed this one right with not having any extra power. And not wasting any time. I think he's got it spot on. Miller out of the last corner to take the checkered flag and does so. So Miller stays in 3rd position. No one ended it. That's it. Nakagami might improve. He was 11th and will take the line. Luca Marini goes 8th. And Nakagami not improving. And Nakagami doesn't improve. So Miguel Oliveira, who surprised us all, lap time cancelled for the 44th Pol Espargaro for exceeding track limits. So Pol Espargaro now has lost his lap time. And looking at it, I think it's Oliveira from Marquez, the two that will progress on to qualifying 2. And the 10 riders who are out and will start positions 13 to 22 are Jack Miller, 13th, Pol Espargaro, 14th, Raul Fernandez is 15th, 16th for Franco Morbidelli, 17th for Fabio Quartararo, really bad weekend for the Yamahas, 18th Luca Marini, 19th Augusto Fernandez, 20th Johan Mir, 21st Takaki Nakagami, and 22nd for Iker Lukanoa. I think that is the situation at hand as to who is going to switch over. But there they are, top 2. Let's hand back over to Nat Quirk.
Series quite unusual, but yeah, but he goes through, had a great marker in front of him, Silva.
What a lap that was again. I mean, it's just like at the start of the year when Mark was, you know, looking for a tour, looking for a good wheel, and he got behind Jack there and put on the perfect lap. He actually looked really settled. The bike, Mark's bike looked really settled. He's just spinning it a little bit there to get in line, and he made up a lot of time in that last sector. So following Jack here, this is all corners that you have to carry the corner speed. And look at Mark, how fast he's going to go there. This is corner before last. Loads of corner speed. He's tucked in right behind that KTM. Last corner now, he's going to get a really good tow over the line as well. A little bit of slipstream as well to go across the line. So it was the perfect positioning and a lot of risk in that lap. Obviously, 39.0, that's a very decent lap time, especially with the struggles that Honda are having at the moment.
Well, Marcus said if he can push that, then he will do. But we've not seen anything like that from any of the Hondas this weekend, have we?
No, they've been all at sea again in Catalonia. But I do think it is the mark of Mark. We're a low grip track and him getting a little bit of a marker up front, just putting everything on the line and finding a little bit of something that wasn't there throughout the weekend. I don't know if he could do it over race distance. Maybe the sprint this afternoon he can work a miracle, but yeah, I'm happy to see a sign of the old Mark back there and a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for Honda.
And a smile there from Marc Marquez. He'll be happy to go through to Q2, as well, of course, Miguel Oliveira, topped the fastest time there, just as he did in that practice this morning.
Yeah, Oliveira looking really impressive. 38.7, that's a very quick time, and he's got a race pace as well. So for him, he really needed to get through Q1. Really important, because potentially he can win the race this afternoon and tomorrow. He's got a great race pace. The Aprilia works really well here, and yeah, he's just increased his chance of a podium or win with that really great qualifying.
Q2 coming up shortly, but the man in form, you have to say, really, is the reigning world champion, Pecco Bagnaia. And as we said earlier, he was in scintillating form just a couple of weeks ago in Austria. He's won half the races so far this season. So how is he feeling about part 2? Well, Gav asked him that question earlier on this week.
I think that this second part of the championship will be tough for the amount of races in a short time, but I love all the tracks we will have. I don't know India, New Delhi, but I think we can enjoy everywhere. Let's see. We are prepared for everything. We have prepared well the preparation, physical preparation. We have prepared well with the team, our bike. So I think these next 3 races are very important in the championship optic.
Who do you see as being your main threat?
Brad, for sure, is so competitive. But I think the main contender will be Martin too. Very competitive, so fast everywhere. He had a bit of unluck in the last races, but he's always there. I think Bezzecchi is the main for his mental attitude. But let's see, it's not easy. I think this track will be quite tough for me, because it's a track that I love, but I never did something good.
It was your 3rd double of the year, sprint and Grand Prix victory. Do you feel you're riding better than you ever have?
I think in my side, yes. I feel incredible with my team. I know perfectly that if we work well, we can have the potential to win every races. So we have to continue like this, and I have to continue improving myself to be better always.
And hopefully make it through turn 1 this year. that's the first goal.
This is already a good objective to turn 2.
Thanks, Pecco.
Grazie.
Well, he looks relaxed, he looks confident, the bike, the package is incredible, and he's riding superbly, isn't he? And he won the championship last year in the second part of the season. So we know how well he does at the tracks we've not been to yet. India, of course, is an unknown, of course, but it bodes well for him, doesn't it? And a daunting prospect for everybody else.
Of course, looking like the favourite. The performance in Austria as well was such a dominance, Pole position, the 2 victories. And he gets the starts as well now. KTM had an edge, for the start season, but now Ducati's reacted, and Pecco did both times the whole shot in Austria. So, yeah, Pecco's looking strong. That said, he's never really performed well here. So if there is a chance for Martin, Brad Binder and Bezzecchi to claw back, some points in the championship, could happen here. So far, though, Pecco's gone well. Yesterday, he prepared his weekend in his usual ways and was looking fast on pace.
Yeah, what do you rate his chances, Michael, this weekend? Like you said, his best finish was 6th. Did look really good last year, didn't he? But just unfortunate he got tangled up with that incident at turn 1 with Taka Nakagami and Alex Rins last year, didn't he?
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes you have bogey tracks and you just can't find a way around it. So he's complained a lot about the grip, quite vocal yesterday that the track needed resurface. So obviously that plays in the back of your mind. You're not happy with the traction that's available, maybe not quite happy with the setup, but Ducati have always been good here. I remember Dovey winning a bit of a tire wear battle where they really calculated how much spin they could manage throughout the race. So I think podiums on the cards, but maybe not the dominance that we've seen in Austria. So it is a chance for Brad Binder, for Jorge Martin to claw back some points on Pecco this weekend. But on current form, you wouldn't rule out another double victory, so he could just turn things around, but I'd be surprised if he does come out on top this weekend.
I suppose part of the challenge this season, having won the title already, is to get better results at those tracks where he perhaps hasn't had before, like here this weekend.
Yeah, if you can do that whenever you have a little chink in your armour or something that's a slight negative, some riders struggle in the wet. They have to work on improving that. Pecco has this track, and obviously he talked about Delhi's already in the back of his mind, a circuit he doesn't know. So yeah, year 2, when you're going for your second title in a row, then you just polish off those little edges that weren't quite there in your first championship season.
The safe perhaps bet would be for this man here, though. We're seeing Aleix Espargaro this weekend. He looks on form, as I say, looking to perhaps put a wrong right this weekend after what happened last year, but he has looked on form and very, very quick out there, hasn't he?
Yes, Nadia, yesterday, and a new lap record yesterday for him. The Aprilia here working supremely well on this track. We know the Aprilia is good on, nice and flowy track where you spend a lot of time on the leaning. Great traction, they're able to carry a little bit of extra corner speed compared to the other manufacturers, and it's worked well so far in Assen, obviously in Silverstone as well, same features on that track with Aleix getting the win, and he's looking very, very good here. And he's got the extra motivation of making that mistake last year, throwing away a podium, a second place. So, yeah, he's probably looking like the favourite for the race.
And I suppose extra motivation that Maverick Vinales is pushing him all the way as well this weekend, Michael.
Yeah, and both home boys wanting a home victory here in Catalonia. Maverick, I think, is my tip, although Aleix, you mentioned the right and the wrong from last year, wanting to get onto the top step of the podium here. He's completely fired up to turn it around, but I do think it's a bit of an Aprilia weekend. It could be a battle between the two former teammates at Suzuki when they were 1 and 2 on the grid. Could they do it again here at Aprilia?
We mentioned Johan Zarco earlier, who has a great record here, doesn't he? But what about Jorge Martin? We know how good he is in qualifying and on those fast laps, and he likes it here as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, Martin, so far, he said he complained yesterday with the grip levels. Obviously, it's the same for everybody, but it affects some riders in different ways. And here, you just really have to be patient. You can't attack as much. So Martin was looking relaxed. He showed us, he could put his shoulder down as well, and that made for some great slow-mo. But I don't know. I think Zarco here has got a real chance. Now that we know he's going to be on a Honda, the races are counted now where he's going to be able to, to get his first win. And Zarco on this track with low grip, we know he's very good as well. He's been on the podium here. He was on the podium last year. So Johan's got a great chance as well of podium this weekend.
And he's your man.
Yeah. He's always my man.
He's always your man. Okay, Q2 is underway for this one.
Well, Alex Rins has just called and says he's really upset with Sylvain because he thought he was Sylvain's man. Obviously, he's down here in the paddock this weekend.
Changes his tune a lot, so
week on week, isn't it? It's not
real, are we? You just can't pick a rider and stick with him.
Before Neil Hodgson speaks, I'm saying Aleix Espargaro. Who do you think it's going to be on pole position? Because
Gav's such a child, because literally he sat here and I said, who are you thinking for a pole position? Oh, sorry, he asked me first and I went Aleix Espargaro, and he's just stolen that.
Just say the same thing, Neil, if you want, like he did a moment ago. Aleix is the big favourite.
That is very cool.
Quickie yesterday, pole here last year, pole on a Suzuki. He's done it before, great at one lap. He has to start this session as the clear favourite. Yeah.
I think he will start as the clear favourite as well. So we're into the procedure now, all set for the final part. This is Q2 for the Grand Prix of Catalonia. Bagnaia, Zarco. Well, let's go in fully, actually, shall we? It is Aleix Espargaro, Maverick Vinales, Pecco Bagnaia, Johan Zarco, Brad Binder, Alex Marquez, Marco Bezzecchi, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Enea Bastianini, Jorge Martin, Miguel Oliveira, and Marc Marquez. That's how they come into this session after the practice times from yesterday. Aprilia 1-2 look like they are going to keep their 1-2. Only session they haven't been fastest in was practice 2, but that was Miguel Oliveira, an Aprilia bike. So Aprilia do seem to have the fastest bike here in MotoGP this weekend. Fingers crossed that it's going to remain the same. 12.5 minutes to go of this session, and everyone now starting their first lap times. Marco Bezzecchi, he's gone down 3 times already this weekend. Is he going to be up for anything else? I'm not too sure. Lap times are underway, as you can see on the timing screens. Everyone again, medium front, soft rear tyre. We expected that to be the norm after the last session. Let's take a look at the sector times though at the moment. Everyone a bit interesting in that first sector. No one's got a gamble as to what it's going to be. So we've got Bagnaia on a 16.8, Zarco 16.9, 16.864 for Bastianini. Who's the fastest? It's currently Di Giannantonio, 16.804. Yeah, look at that. Fastest first sector is Fabio Di Giannantonio, 16.804. Who's sector 2 then? Bashini 49.0, 48.8 for Binder, 49.2. It's Binder at the moment. No, it's now going to change to Miguel Oliveira with a 48.721. So faster sector 1, Di Antonio. Faster sector 2, Miguel Oliveira. Marc Marquez does a 1:40.665. And now we're really knowing what everyone's getting the ball rolling with as they come into the last sector. So Marc goes first, gets the opening gambit. Maverick Vinales, 7/10 up at the moment. So there are a few red sectors coming in. Look at Bagnaia, Zarco, Vinales, Di Antonio, as I said, all coming through. So here they come then, out of the last corner, out towards the line. Timing towers are going to change dramatically now. Oliveira, 1:44.56. Here comes Jorge Martin across the line on the Prima Promax, a 1:39.601. Here comes everyone else, look. Binder, Alex Marquez, Bezzecchi, 4.56. Bagnaia top, 1:39.422. Maverick Vinales looking quick, so is Aleix Espargaro. Lap time cancel for Alex Marquez due to exceeding the track limits. Time is still up there as they exit. Fabio Di Antonio goes third, 1:39.718. Bagnaia still fastest. Vinales to the top, 1:39.392. Aleix Espargaro is right behind him. It's in a brilliant front row, 1:39.207 for Aleix Espargaro as things stand. But look at Jorge Martin. Martin's times are looking good. Look who's improving in that first sector. Well, Aleix's backed out of it, but Vinales fastest for Bagnaia, 16.692, 6.82 for Martin. So, yeah, it is at the moment Jorge Martin who was fastest in that first sector. Sector 2, no one else is improving. You can see by the orange time, it means they are down on their overall best. Grey means they're just about on it. So what does Marc Marquez do? He's running out of kilter. Marc, I think, has he come into the pit lane? Because he hasn't yet come across the line at turn. Well, he's in the last corner. Don't tell me he's crashed. No, Marc's, I think, into the pit lane on this back lap time. So this second run, not many people finding time to improve. Marc is in the pit lane. We thought so. Right, sector 2 time around change then, as they come across the line. Jorge Martin will lead them. He's 48,000 down at the moment. Binder looking good as well. Bagnaia, then Vinales is up in that sector time. Martin across the line goes on to second place, 1:39.381. Binder's at the top on that KTM, 1:39.176. Bagnaia goes third, 1:39.330. Vinales fits fastest at the moment. Zarco goes into 6th position as well. Here comes Maverick Vinales. Does he have anything? 19 thousandths of a second was the difference as he comes out the last corner. Pulls the throttle back up towards the line, gets himself adjusted on the bike, and Vinales takes provisional pole position, 1:39.099. Great job there from Vinales. Really will be trying harder then to find some time back. So Vinales has provisional pole position from Binder, Aleix Espargaro. Then we take it as well with Bagnaia, Martin, Zarco, Alex Marquez, Di Antonio, Bezzecchi. Whoa, big twitch from Alex Marquez coming out of turn 5. And Siat, the rear of the bike, stepping out from underneath him. He just about got it in. Sector time suggests to me that everybody's going to start coming into the pit lane on this lap. So I don't think we're going to see as big of an improvement. They're still setting grey sectors, but we were seeing 16s in the first sector and 48s in the second. So watch out for Alex Marquez and Marco Bezzecchi. Those two seem to want to go for another run on these set of tyres and on this set of bikes. Everyone's out there, medium front, soft rear compound tyre. Nobody's decided to take the changeover as we thought they might do. But this is a really strong gambit. Up to the line. Many people now will be... Aleix Espargaro's in the pit lane. Yeah, everyone's coming in. I think Alex Marquez in too, yeah. So everyone's coming into the pit lane now. Let's hand it back over to TNT.
And the Argentinian Grand Prix is not anywhere near
it's old school.
Level. It's old school, isn't it? A bit ramshackle in parts. Still love going down there. So different. The calendar, we're told, should be coming out by San Marino, by the Misano Grand Prix. We'll see.
To be honest, it's been quite quiet.
It's been quiet on that front. There's been so many other things going on.
That's what I was going to say. There's been that much happening. Normally, we talk about the calendar for a few rounds and there's paddock rumours, but I've heard nothing.
Saudi Arabia is obviously one where it was supposed to come on the calendar soon enough, wasn't it?
So is that what you would be expecting?
Well, I don't know. will get.
Are you
a minimum
starting
20.
to make things up now? This is
Yeah.
we get to the point.
No, but remember they announced that there would be one in 24, didn't they? They had a letter of intent or whatever you call it. You know, one of these things that it will happen.
Talk about the Isle of Man being reinstated. I don't know.
Now you're making it up.
I don't know.
Now.
I'm down low. Well, make things up.
You definitely work for the tourist board there, don't you? So Maverick Vinales, it is who tops the timesheets, but a 39.0 from Vinales. I expect them to be able to go much quicker on this second run. But you're going to want to get your lap in quickly because, you know, when
Yellow
people
flags.
start pushing, I'm worried about those yellow flags. And I think that's why Aleix has just gone out now. Get out there. Is he going to be by himself is the question. I was just wondering whether he might have a big
Yeah, he has. He's done
number
really well
93
there.
in the back, but no.
By coming in early, actually not completing that second lap, it's thrown him off with everyone else, and he's got away. That's the best thing that Aleix could have done.
It's interesting. Marc Marquez going by himself.
Definitely not.
Oh, no. Of course,
Gav.
of course not. In behind Miguel Oliveira.
And his friend Francesco Bagnaia.
Well, he's going to love that one, isn't he? If he looks around. Yeah, but he has got past Oliveira already. And Bagnaia is looking around to see if anyone's coming down the track. And he'll just have the big white number 93.
I can hear the Italian swear words.
I'm expecting the hand signal at some point.
I think he's doing the right thing. He's going out as hard as he can on his outlap and saying, catch me if you can.
You have to, don't you? You have to try and just forget about it and get on with your own job. Marc Marquez is not a threat for you.
No.
It doesn't matter really, does it?
The only thing that's in your head is you've got someone who's behind you riding over their limit on a bike that doesn't give a lot of feedback, and you are fearful that someone's going to lose the front and take you out. What's he saying? What's he saying?
I couldn't quite. It was sort of side mouth to Paolo Ciabatti saying, "Oh, it's a surprise, isn't it?" Oh, so Bagnaia hasn't been able to shake off Marc Marquez. I'm sure we'll have seen him on the big screen. We ride on board with Marc, who has such a strong following, as you can imagine, in this part of Spain. He is a Catalan rider. No Aragon Grand Prix, of course, this year. This is the one. It is the one anyway, closest to his home, over in Cervera in Lleida.
Just look how aero Aleix Espargaro is. I mentioned it at the last race. I mean, he's super lean. There is not an ounce on him. Obsessive with his cycling. I don't know what his body fat is, but it'll be low single figures. It'll be 6-7%. But you watch him from the front, he could not get more tucked in. I genuinely think we're going to see the fastest ever two-wheel lap now by Aleix Espargaro.
He's going for it. He's up here already in the middle sector. If we take a look at it now, the control deck, look at that first sector time from Aleix Espargaro, 16.619. Bagnaia going quicker as well as they come through. The red sectors across the board here. Absolutely fantastic times we are seeing at the Catalan Grand Prix. There really is no doubt about it. They want to go out at a high. Aprilia going so strong, and Aleix Espargaro on a weekend where Bagnaia might not be the fastest rider. He wants a third Grand Prix win to go across the one he got last year, of course, at the Argentine Grand Prix. Then, of course, he took victory at the British Grand Prix just a few weeks ago. And can he get his third win on home soil? Sector time's looking good. Is this the fastest ever lap around the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for Aleix Espargaro out of the last corner? 2.5 tenths up across the line. It's a 1:38.752. It's still not faster for what we had yesterday. Yesterday's practice time was quicker. So it's still not there. That's due to the conditions at the moment. Here comes Bagnaia. He's up already by 3 tenths, and that's Miguel Oliveira going on the inside of Marc Marquez at the last corner. Marc was too slow. Bagnaia, 1:38.639. He takes pole position. Oliveira into second place. Aleix displaced to third. Martin goes fourth. Look at Maverick Vinales. Could a pole position be on the cards for him with Aprilia? The most underperformed rider on that Aprilia bike in the last 18 months as well, since he joined the team after being fired mid-season by Yamaha. Can he now get his confidence back? His last race win in MotoGP was the Qatar Grand Prix in 2021. So far ago. As he exits the last corner, gives it the welly. Is he quicker? Maverick Vinales across the line. Is it quick? Is it good? Vinales only goes fourth. 1:38.772. Sector times are looking good for Bagnaia, as he always does. He pulls it out the bag. Last lap time for many of them. Well, last lap time certainly for Vinales, and it's a 16.627 first sector. Bagnaia though did a 16.5, a 47.7 and a 1:08.0. Lap time cancelled for Aleix Espargaro for a shortcut. So he'll have to go again. He'll have to go again. Less than a minute left in this session. Bagnaia exits the last corner. This Ducati has been the dominant bike of 2023. Can he get a weekend back on form? Yes! No! 40 thousandths down on his own best time. After leading so much of the lap, he's still on provisional pole, but he can't beat his own time. Really strange situation there. Lap time cancelled for Zarco for a shortcut, so they've taken that back in to cut into the track. Bagnaia has to set a new track record though, and there is Zarco, and that's Jorge Martin. And he's at turn one. He's gone in way too deep and gone straight along. He's still on the bike and he'll get it back, but Martin's lap time has gone. Aleix Espargaro, red sector 1, red sector 2, won it now. Vinales is 2/10 down his own lap time. The checker flag is out now. So the session is over. Anyone else going to improve? It's all thoughts and prayers in the Yamahas at the moment. They're looking to tomorrow. We just saw as well down at Aprilia. Everyone cheering on Aleix Espargaro. Currently the computer predicting him to go P2. Bezzecchi's off the pace at the moment as well. This is the really, really close part now. Into the last corners. Checker flag out. Can Aleix Espargaro take pole position away from Pecco Bagnaia across the line? And Aleix goes second. 5 thousandths quicker than Oliveira, but nobody can beat Pecco Bagnaia. Provisional pole position at the moment. And if you're wondering why we're not showing anything else, because no one else is improving on sector times. They've all slowed down in this last lap. Lap time cancelled for Miguel Oliveira and for Bagnaia. I think that's a shortcut though for both. No sign of track limit issues. Vinales was fastest, but yeah, doesn't work out. Bagnaia takes the flag. And that's it. Everyone crosses the line and completes the qualifying session for the 2023 Catalan Grand Prix. Bagnaia, a new all-time record, 47 thousandths faster than yesterday's. It's a 1:38.639. Bear in mind though, the layout's only been used twice. Last year and this year, or maybe the year before as well in 2021, but that's the only time the layout's been used. It hasn't been given so much of a runaround beforehand as well. Yeah, just confirming that on the TV pictures. So it's Bagnaia who steals the Spanish spotlight from Aleix Espargaro in his pole position. Confirmed now below me for Pecco Bagnaia. Aleix will start second. Oliveira third. That's the front row. Row 2, Vinales, Martin, Zarco. Row 3, Alex Marquez, Di Gianantonio and Binder. Row 4, we'll see Bezzecchi, Bastianini and Marc Marquez. And this was Jorge Martin on the last lap, round the outside of Marc Marquez at turn 11 and 12. Now, what did he do? Is he going to say, I was blocked, I was impeded? Marc was on a push lap. And this is him in towards turn 1. Marc braking. Oh, and Jorge Martin just loses the rear and goes straight on the track. Got caught in the wash of Marc Marquez. Nothing he could do about that. Okay, Up later, it's the Tissot Sprint. We'll be in another commentary box for that one as well, with the green screen on. But new all-time lap record, 1:38.639 for Bagnaia. Not a bad race then, not a bad result coming up. Thanks for your company across this session. Waves to the crowd, it's Pecco Bagnaia who has pole position for the Tissot Sprint and the Catalan Grand Prix in round 11 of the 2023 season. Thanks for your company, take care, see you later for the Tissot Sprint, bye-bye.